Hi guys, and welcome to the video. I'm testing rebuilt Halo RC Osiris with FETTec 35 and ESCs and FETTec F7 flight controller, and you can see and hear that now there are some oscillations and there is some resonance in the frame. I wasn't able to get rid of this resonance with filtering, and changing the props helps. Probably best are the peanut butter or S3 Ethix props, but I had quite a success with Gemfan 6042 props when I went down with the filters to mid-high, and but the frame still requires, like, I don't know, 6-inch props requires something that this frame doesn't have, or at least my setup doesn't have, and I'm still getting some bumpy ride. But right now with this gem fans, I'm getting jello, and that's something I don't like. Now this is the flyer with same props, Gemfan 5143, but on 6S battery. And now the issue that I'm having is more pronounced. You can see the jello when I'm hitting the throttle, and you can also hear the sound. So I will let you while to just enjoy my flying and listen to the sound of props and motors. Now this is, as you see, Gemfan 6042 by 3 and 5S battery, and I had to adjust filters to medium high on case flight control. Bear in mind that I'm flying in pretty severe wind gusts, around 40 kilometers per hour, maybe even 50, I don't remember exactly. And you can see that like, I don't have any jello, but there is this constant bumpiness, like the quadcopter doesn't hold the line precisely. Not much to add here. This is the same thing, just flying on 6S battery. And yeah, I wouldn't say that there is much of a difference between 5S and 6S. That's the only observation I have. And I would even say that it's like the quad is flying a little bit differently. On 6S it's more floaty, it has more, you know, this pop, more power when you punch it, and overall seems a bit more floatier than on 5S, but the like the output that I see in HD feed, then is, to me, it seems similar. Right now, you will be watching a straight forward flight, and you can see that bumpiness, which I think partly it's the wind, but also I think, you know, it can be also that the motors are not sufficient for 6-inch props, or just something in my setup is not right. Now I have switched props to Ethix bubblegummies, and this prop is the one that I like most in in 6-inch range props, because it's very responsive, at least to my feel, and punchy, and it has great grip. I love to fly them. It also, the quad flies or feels that it's flying very fast if you really give it a little bit throttle. But they are biblades, and they are like creating more vibrations. So then you can see it in the wind, in the HD feed, that the quad is shaking completely. And here I think it's the issue of the frame, and also maybe, like, my motors might not be really suited for such prop. But the feeling when flying these props is amazing. I highly recommend them to try it. Now this is same thing on 4S LiIon battery. It was borrowed by my friend to test it. You can immediately see that the quadcopter is kind of calmer. You can see some shakiness still, but not that much as on a 5S or 6S. Uh, Unfortunately, I ran out of battery on the GoPro now. So basically, the flight on 4S was calmer. I wasn't seeing that much of that bumpiness, and yes, it can fly on LiIon battery. The battery handled it well, so I'm pretty confident that I can get decent flight times with 4S LiIon battery. And now we are watching a 6S flight, basically, with bubble gummies. And yeah, same thing as with the other props. The difference between 5S and 6S is just overall a little bit more vibration and kind of bumpiness, but in the same time you got little bit different feel, more floatiness. And in this setup, I would even say that flying it on 5S is enough to give you good freestyle feeling. Still pretty windy, but I flashed different firmware to the ESCs just out of curiosity to see if there would be any difference. From what I see now, it seems less bumpy. but you know, still these bubble gummies are pretty vibey, and you can feel it. You can see that either the motors or the overall quad has to do much with the vibrations. And now we are flying against the wind, so it's more pronounced, this bumpiness and shakiness. But I would say yes, there is a difference, and this newer firmware is better. So I switched the battery to 200 2200 Yamaha 4S, which is around 260 grams, 270 grams. So it makes the quad fair bit heavier, and yeah, you can see that the quad is shaking, and I'm getting kind of smudged HD output. It's it's flying okay though. I mean, it's windy, and what can I do? Like I uh, I have a flight with uh, 5 inch, and even the 5 inch was struggling in this wind. So just for a reference, I also flew with Gemfan 6042 props. Enjoy the short flight, and you can, you know, check it out how it flew. So to take a reference or have a reference flight of a 5 inch, I took my Marmotte and with Ethix S3 props, and put the same 6S battery on it and do the basically same flight. And you will see at this, it will come later on, this straightforward flight, that even this Marmotte had trouble to keep up straight line in this wind. So uh, yeah. So again, just put a different battery on the same quad to see the difference. And yeah, it flies. It feels a bit heavy now, and it's like you will see for yourself. The wind is still playing with the copter pretty easily, and I don't have can't do much about it. Usually this quad flies pretty good without any jello, without any bumpiness in the HD feed, and now you can see that, you know, when I fly straight, the quad is up and down, and the conclusion is that it wasn't good day for testing because it was too windy. So yeah, you can fly a 5-inch with, I don't know, 260 gram battery, and it will still fly pretty well. I enjoyed the flight. It's not super fast in this configuration, but well, if you enjoy cruising, you can do it. And if you like, if you are low on budget, there is no need to buy Flyvo Explorer or, you know, Recon Mini or Micro, whatever. You can do it with your 5-inch, just slap and bigger battery on it. So what's the conclusion? Well, I would say that the Halo IRC Osiris is a good frame, but probably I didn't choose the right motors, or maybe it's not that sturdy to handle a 6-inch props. So maybe I will try and Impulse RC Apex on 6-inch arms. And here you are watching again the Marmotte, me flipping around. And if you are doing freestyle, you know, the wind doesn't play that much role. Like, you won't see any bumpiness. You are still bit on a throttle. The copter has the authority to handle the wind, and we are doing flippy floppies, so the you don't have to be that much concerned about that in, I mean, this kind of freestyle. Yeah, I'm not noticing any big vibrations, and yeah, the feel, you are definitely feeling the wind. It is throwing you around. When you want to do the power loop, you are not ending where you want to. You are slightly offset, which is funny. But yeah, that's it. Sorry for such long video, and if you watch it, at least parts that I'm speaking, then thank you. And if you like this kind of walkie-talkie videos, let me know in the comments and I will make more. Cheers.